Okay, let's jump straight in. Have you ever just stopped for a second and wondered if what you're looking at right this very moment is actually real? Today in this explainer, we're diving into a total mystery drawn right from our source material. We're going on a little journey into the incredibly active, completely invisible work of your own mind. Specifically, we're focusing on what exactly happens in the brain over a very crucial 7-minute window. We're going to unpack a pretty profound idea today: what your brain sees that your eyes completely miss.
So, what does your brain see in 7 minutes that your eyes miss? I really want you to just sit with that question for a second. The really interesting thing here is the hidden gap between actual reality and your own perception. We usually trust our eyes implicitly, right? We just walk through the world assuming they capture every single detail perfectly. But our source text points to this really focused 7-minute span where your brain is doing something pretty extraordinary. It's processing an entirely different reality that you aren't even consciously aware of.
To actually wrap our heads around this mystery, we first need to look at the fundamental difference between the eye and the brain. Think of your eye as just a lens. It's totally mechanical. It merely captures the raw light bouncing off the objects around you. But the brain? Well, the brain is the master director. It takes that raw, unfiltered, kind of chaotic light and actually processes it. The eye just captures, but the brain truly sees. And this perfectly illustrates our core concept. Your brain is actively constructing a final image that your eyes, in their raw capture, completely missed.
7 minutes. In the context of our source text, this specific time frame represents something deeply intriguing about how we process the world. Just imagine those 7 minutes as this incredibly active, totally invisible workshop inside your mind. Sight isn't just a quick instant snapshot. Over this period, your brain is absolutely firing on all cylinders, interpreting unseen information, sorting through light and shadow, and continuously building the reality you think you're just passively watching. It's a massive, ongoing effort happening right behind your eyes.
And this brings us to a really fascinating phenomenon mentioned directly in our source: visual illusions. A lot of times, we just brush visual illusions off as fun little parlor tricks. We think of them as our flawed eyes making a mistake. But let's completely reframe that right now. Visual illusions are actually incredibly powerful evidence. They are undeniable proof that your brain is actively constructing a reality that is fundamentally different from the raw light your eye captures. It's not a glitch at all. It's just the brain doing its job, acting like a relentless built-in photo editor, making sense of the world even if it has to invent a little bit of it.
So, let's actually walk through how your brain pulls this off and alters reality. First up, it disconnects from the raw visual input. It basically decides it doesn't just need the literal data coming from the eye. Second, it fills in the missing details. Wherever there's no data, the brain steps in like an artist and paints it in. And finally, through this insanely rapid process, it generates what we call a visual illusion. The absolute key takeaway here is that these illusions aren't magic. They're just the beautiful result of your brain working overtime behind the scenes during those focused moments of perception.
But what is the brain intentionally hiding from you? It's one thing to know that your brain creates illusions and adds things that aren't really there to help us make sense of the world. But it's an entirely different thing to realize that it is actively concealing the truth of your own vision. This is where the source material takes a remarkably intriguing turn. We're shifting from the brain creating reality to the brain deliberately hiding reality from you.
And that brings us right to blind spots. Now, a blind spot isn't just some metaphor for a detail you overlooked or forgot. It is a literal, physical gap in your visual field. Because of the anatomical way our eyes are structured, there is a specific, constant area where the eye literally captures zero light, zero data, no image whatsoever. It's a region where visual information is entirely missing. Every single time you open your eyes, there are physical holes in what you're looking at.
But look around the room right now. You never see those holes, do you? And that's because your brain is actively hiding your blind spots for you. This is honestly one of the most profound revelations derived from our text. Your brain is so generously, continuously patching over these missing pieces of reality. It takes the colors, the patterns, the shapes from the edges of your blind spot and seamlessly weaves them together, smoothing it over so perfectly that you literally never even notice you're looking at a manufactured, edited image.
Let's break down how this hidden process actually works, step by step. Step 1. The eye encounters a blind spot. The visual data literally just drops out into nothingness. Step 2. The brain instantly detects this missing visual data. It knows right away there's a void there. Step 3. The brain seamlessly hides the gap for you. It edits that void completely out of existence. It is truly remarkable when you stop to think about the sheer speed of this. Your brain acts as this invisible, lightning-fast editor of your daily life,
cutting and pasting reality together so flawlessly that you feel perfectly whole.
So when we contrast these two concepts, raw visual reality versus your perceived reality, we end up with this really beautiful contradiction. The raw visual reality that our eyes actually physically capture is inherently flawed. It is literally filled with gaps and blind spots and missing information. But your perceived reality, the one you are experiencing right now as you watch this explainer, that version is flawless. It is a highly edited, polished masterpiece of the world that your brain constructed specifically to protect you from seeing the void.
Just think about this direct quote from our source material for a second. Visual illusions and blind spots that the brain hides for you. It's an incredible thought, isn't it? Everything you see, the seamless beauty of the world around you, is at least partially a masterfully crafted illusion. Your brain is relentlessly taking care of you, hiding the imperfections, and smoothing out the rough, broken edges of reality long before that image ever reaches your conscious awareness.
Which brings us to a pretty profound exploration of our own awareness. If your brain is constantly editing out your blind spots, if it is actively hiding reality to create a seamless, comforting illusion, it completely changes how we understand the very nature of our perception. Are you truly looking directly at the world, or are you simply looking at the beautiful, continuous story your brain is rapidly whispering to you about the world? It really makes you question every single thing you think you know about your surroundings. If you found this journey into the hidden mechanics of your own mind as fascinating as I did, please subscribe to the channel for more explainers just like this one. We'll be continuing to decode the incredible depths of human perception together. But before you go, I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. If your brain is constantly editing reality just to keep you comfortable, who is really doing the seeing? Until next time, stay curious.